And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, May 10th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on a Wednesday. We are ready to go for Cedarstone Bank this morning. Bob McDonald is with us by phone. And Bob, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Coleman.
Good to have you, of course. And we always say Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. Now, what do you got for us?
I'll tell you, I'm not sure exactly what all we'll talk about for our few minutes together, but one thing I do want to touch on that I'm sure your upcoming guests will talk about was just how wonderful Cumberland University's commencement was this past Saturday. So many people were involved in that, they had to make a tough decision to do you leave it outside given the weather forecast, do you take it inside? And they chose to take it inside. It took place over at the Farm Bureau Expo Center. And Coleman, I tell you what, everybody just did a terrific job. There was a huge crowd. I think it was a record number of students getting their degree. I know so many people were involved in making that transition from the campus to the Expo Center. I know Leslie Steele had a lot going on with it, Stephanie Walker, Lana Hale. So Dr. Stum did a great job. Dr. Bill McKee, your guest coming up, Rusty Richardson, did a wonderful job. It was just a very exciting day, and I know everybody worked hard on that, and they were proud. And it's like I always tell Dr. McKee, that's what they're in business for, is to have that day and see those students come across and get their diploma. It's very exciting, and so I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the folks at Cumberland who did such a great job on Saturday's commencement. Well,
you have a vested interest in Cumberland as well. You're still a member of the Board of Trust, aren't you?
I am. I have been for quite a while, and I'm very honored to still be serving in that way, and look forward to continuing to do so. And I'm not sure how long I've been on the board, Coleman. I want to say it's 21, 22 years, and I've seen it come a long way, and it's the best it's ever been in the over 180 years. I mean, just the faculty is terrific, the administration is terrific, the staff, the students, some really good-looking kids came across that stage on Saturday, Coleman. We could all be proud of the future and what they're going to bring to society. And so it was just a wonderful day, and it's just right here in our hometown.
Well, I appreciate you saying that this morning. What's happening with Cedarstone?
We're continue to be very, very busy. We've got, I told you last time that, we wrapped up the first quarter, and we're very busy with new loan requests. We're very busy with people opening up accounts. And all three of our offices are really working hard to serve our customers. And so we're real fortunate, that the Fed did increase rates again last week by another quarter of a point. Rates are now at the highest they've been in about 15 or 16 years, Coleman. And so rates are higher, but it's not dampening people's interest in borrowing money, for the right reasons, of course. And so, and of course, people who have certificates of deposit or money market accounts, those rates, they're enjoying a higher interest rate. So, despite the increase in rates, economic activity continues to be very vibrant.
Well, we've talked about this a number of times, and I've been reading in some other parts of the country, things have slowed down some, and maybe they've slowed a little bit here, but seems like it hasn't affected us here, especially in Middle Tennessee, anywhere near as much as it has in some other places in this country.
Well, that certainly has been our experience here for the last basically, they've been raising rates for right at a year now, and we've not seen that. When you listen to national newscasts about the economy, you hear about that a recession. If we're not in it now, then it's imminent sometime in the second half of the year. But you're right. You might hear about it in other parts of the country, but right here in Middle Tennessee, we're fortunate to have a diverse economy that's not dependent on any one industry or business. And We've got healthcare, we have tourism, we have banking and finance. I mean, there's just so many businesses out there and industries that we're very fortunate to have the diversity in our economy as we do.
All right, got just about 45 seconds to talk about that Simply Better free checking account.
All right. Well, we like to always wrap up with that, and it is free, Coleman. For your listeners who don't bank with us, we would be delighted and honored to talk to them about banking with us. And we always like to start out with our checking account. It is free in every way. You get free checks. You get a free ATM or debit card. You can use it at any ATM in the world, and we reimburse any third-party fees. You can bank online. You can bank. You can make your deposits with your cell phone. So you can bank with us in any way you choose, whether you want to come in and see us or you want to use technology. We can offer it in any way.
Well, it's a wonderful product, and I hope you'll add a few today. Bob, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Coleman. Good to be with you, my
All
friend.
right. Bob McDonald, he's President and Chief Executive Officer, Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. All right, 10 minutes after the hour, and Rusty Richardson is here from Cumberland University. And, of course, Rusty's Executive Director of Communications. I'll get it right here in a minute. Executive Director of Community Relations and External Affairs. It's too long a title, Rusty. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Well, you do a lot of things, though, and I guess that covers a lot of area.
It does. I do wear multiple hats there, but many of us do.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about this morning, and Bob kind of got us started here. You could just do a little more on the graduation recap and move into something else, I guess.
Sure, I'd be happy to start there. It was, and thank Bob for stealing my thunder there, but it was a great day Saturday. Actually, our graduation goes over about a 3-day period because we have the nurse pinning on Thursday night. We have the graduate degrees awarded Friday night, and then all the undergraduate degrees awarded Saturday morning.
And the undergraduate is the real big one.
That's the biggest one. We had, all told, between those categories, we had over 700 graduates, the largest graduating class ever. We had about 460 that were the undergraduates that walked on Saturday morning. I had the great pleasure of reading all of their names, great pleasure and great challenge in some cases of reading all those names and trying not to mispronounce them.
Yeah.
I got most of them right. So, but it was a great ceremony, and as Bob said, it's a tough decision whether to move it indoors. We made that decision on Wednesday morning when the prediction was still 65, 70% chance of thunderstorms Saturday morning. By the time we got to Friday morning, that had dropped to almost zero. But the decision had been made, and things were already set up.
Okay. You want to move into Founders Day?
Sure. Since my last visit here, we had Founders Day back in April. That's a day, and it's not an official day because the calendar changes every year. But we take one day in the spring to recognize the founding of the university, now 181 years ago. Some pomp and circumstance with that, and a great day. And this year we combined with that an annual day of giving. Mm-hmm. And the advancement office had set a goal of $25,000 that day. They did not reach that goal. They surpassed it by a factor of 3. They raised just over $76,000 that day, and certainly want to thank all the donors that participated in that day of giving.
Well, you've written here, Annual Giving Day, a huge success, and I'd say you couldn't say it much better. A huge success.
A huge success. And just, again, Courtney Wheeler and all her staff were instrumental in that. And again, what really makes that are the donors that make that so successful, and we certainly want to thank them.
Okay, you've got a guest you brought with us this morning, and I'm sure you'd like to do the honors here.
Sure, thank you. A return guest, Mr. Joey Clark. Joey is the Executive Director of Marketing and Communications, and in that role, he not only helps to inform the public about the university, but he's one of our best spokesmen as getting good news out. So he's got lots of good news to share this morning of the exciting things that have been going on.
Well, we'll get to part of it and take a break here. But Joey, good morning and welcome again.
Good morning. If I was that good of a spokesman, they'd let me read the names at graduation, but I don't know that I've mastered that just yet. You obviously are a better spokesman because they've given you that job that nobody else can handle in its capacity. So
I'm certainly willing to share that.
Well, Coleman, thanks for having me this morning. A lot of exciting things. To Rusty's point, so much of our growth and opportunity at Cumberland has been possible because of the support of donors of our alumni base. And one of the most exciting things just right out of the gate as we head into the summer, looking ahead for the fall, is just a number of new programs that have been added to our curriculum. So we've been able to add additional master's programs, one specifically a Master's of Science in Information Technology. There's additional bachelor's degrees that have been added, a bachelor's in Homeland Security. So again, just a lot of really exciting opportunity on the academic side as we're continuing to see students apply and get ready to become a Cumberland Phoenix.
Well, I take it, that is sort of a supply and demand thing. As there is demand for certain areas of education, then they are implemented at Cumberland.
Correct. And we've got a great team from our provost office, the registrar, a number of individuals that are working to get different programs accredited as need be. But that is, you're exactly right, a supply and demand for us to be really listening to what incoming students are looking for. And that's an incoming student that's a first-time freshman or potentially a transfer student or even a Tennessee Reconnect student where we have returning adult students coming back to get a degree.
All right, we'll talk about the enrollment outlook for fall when we come back, but now it's time to take a break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. Kubota Sales Blitz is going on now exclusively at Absolute Kubota. Come in and check out the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. 0% financing for 84 months on most models, plus add an attachment to your tractor. Get the implement bonus bucks up to $800 off, or take a cash discount of $2,400 on select models. This is for in-stock models only, and the sales blitz will end at the end of the month. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic right now continues on 24 westbound, passing Smyrna, coming up through Smyrna, all the way up to Antioch as well. Just that heavy buildup that comes out of Rutherford County towards Davidson on 24 westbound. Same thing happening out in the Mount Juliet area as that starts to get a little bit busier westbound. I-40 passing Belinda Parkway. Still not bad down from the north, except with some volume there. This 65 southbound through Millersville. Looks like it was running a little bit slow just a couple of minutes ago on that check. Hey, Sips and Sharks at Ripley's Aquarium in the Smokies coming up May 20th and 21st. Just Google Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday morning. I was just telling Rusty Richardson it is nice to have you here once a month. And Rusty, I've got to tell you, I'll say this for everybody here. You do, I think, a wonderful job of bringing different people and letting us, the listeners, know really what's happening at Cumberland University.
Thank you, Coleman.
And we do have Joey Clark here today. Joey, Executive Director of Marketing and Communications. So let's talk about the enrollment outlook for fall.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously for us, again, looking at the supply and demand, looking at what students are interested in and how we can continuously grow is a huge part of what we're doing and what we're seeking out. And so this year we've been really fortunate to see an increase in applications, and that's been the case year over year for a couple of years now. We've got about little under 4,000 applications that have come through at this point, and all of that is in pursuit of being able to top what this year's graduating class did and see a continued growth each year at those commencement ceremonies. But really excited about what the fall looks like for us, and that's a group effort of recruiting from our enrollment team, but also really great work from a retention standpoint of ensuring that our current students are happy and getting the education and the experience that they need while on campus.
I keep wondering, is there somewhere in the future you're going to reach a plateau where you say, this is enough and no more? Are you going to continue to grow forever?
I'm reminded of a quote of J. Paul Getty when someone said, Mr. Getty, you've amassed this huge fortune. You know, how much is enough and when are you going to stop? how much more do you want? He said, just $1 more, just $1 more.
One more student.
One more student, and we'll find a place for him. So,
What about that, Joey?
I mean, for us, it's a really great opportunity. I think when we realize there's no longer a need, that's when you evaluate, what you're doing and what your mission is. But for us, we know, again, because of the different student groups that we serve, those traditional first-time freshmen, transfer students coming from a community college or another four-year institution. Again, really great opportunities like Tennessee Promise, where students can receive that 2-year associate's degree for free, and Tennessee Reconnect. Again, an opportunity for those adult learners who maybe have done some college credit but didn't finish a degree, are looking to be able to pursue a degree in hopes of advancing a career opportunity. I think when we stop having those individuals, we will have to evaluate what we're doing, but I don't think they're going away anytime soon, and so I think it gives us the ability for that continued growth.
Well, you have a 2017 Cumberland alumnus who won the Nashville Marathon.
We did. We've got a couple of alumni that have done some really amazing things over the course of this past year. Garang Madut is specifically one of those. He did win the Nashville Marathon.
You want to say that name again?
Garang Madut.
Garang Madut.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
So we're really excited to see that. A great, just highlight piece of somebody that has a tie back to Cumberland. And I think it's really interesting. Obviously, that name is not local to Lebanon. I think a number of people are not runners, and it's been a really great opportunity for us to highlight just the different ways in which our alumni are living and existing in Middle Tennessee and really around, the world as a whole. And that's also something to be acknowledged. Another individual that I wanted to make sure we mentioned, Coleman, was just maybe last month, we had a alumni event for our Master of Public Service Management degree, and so had a really great opportunity where Dr. Laquita Martin and her husband, Dr. Orland Martin, were able to come, and they gave a $50,000 donation in the pursuit of starting a speaker series in honor of Dr. Fred Hefner, one of our professors at Cumberland. So again, another representation of how our university has made an impact, and then our alum have not only gone out to make their own impact, but have also come back and said, how do we continue to pour into this university to see it continue to grow?
And I think there's one other thing you want to talk about.
There is. So we're really excited. Throughout the course of this past year, we've had a really great partnership with WKRN News 2. And so hopefully a number of listeners have seen us, whether it be on Meg's Morning View or different components. We do a once a month segment, local on 2 with WKRN, but we're excited this upcoming fiscal year to start a partnership with Nashville Public Television. And so we'll be one of their 4 anchor sponsors, and just a really great way for the Cumberland name to be seen in a different channel, in a different light, with a different group of people. And so excited for what that presents.
Well, I think you've been getting it out in some different ways, and I know you've done some TV ads.
Yes, sir.
In fact, somebody sent me a copy.
Well, good.
and you've gotten a lot of attention.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's been really important for us. One of the primary questions we hear is, how do we make sure that Cumberland is on the list? And that is, that metaphorical list of when students are thinking about what schools to apply to and seek out. And for us, we don't want to be the best kept secret in town. We want people to be aware that we're here and that we're approachable, and that receiving that degree is an attainable goal, and that we want to help with that. So opportunities like those news segments, like the advertising, being able to be on the radio with you once a month, a lot of really great opportunities for us to share all the good things happening across campus.
Well, this isn't on Rusty's agenda this morning, but I'll ask you, what's summer like for you?
Summer is a different kind of busy for me. So throughout the fall and the spring, me and my team are at event after event, similar to Rusty and a number of individuals on campus. The summer is a busy sense in that we're getting to regroup and reprioritize and really assess what worked the past year and what our plans and goals are for the upcoming year. So an exciting time and kind of just a time of reflection for us to figure out what's our next step so that we continue to have more eyes and ears on Cumberland.
But it's not all vacation and fun.
It is not all vacation. Nope, not at all.
Well, Rusty, I guess we'll come back to you and talk about a big event coming up, the Phoenix Ball.
The Phoenix Ball is coming up more quickly than what I would like. It is now 24 days and approximately 10 hours and 6 minutes from starting. And as we've reported in the past, it is sold out. We do have a waiting list of people wanting seats. If someone's interested in your listeners, they can contact me and I can put them on the list. And we're at that point now where there's lots of fluidity to the list. People that had bought tables, they found out 2 of their guests can't come. So there is a lot of movement on that right now. And I certainly want to highlight our presenting sponsor this year, Hunt Brothers Pizza. Scott and Patricia Hunt run that company, and it's a huge company. I don't think many people realize just how big that company is, with thousands of locations across the U.S. But we're so pleased. They've been to the ball many times, very good supporters of Cumberland. Certainly want to thank them. Also want to give a shout out to Brad and Tasha Irby, this year's co-chairs. They have done a remarkable job. They are keeping me very busy with as we prepare for the silent auction, live auction. It's going to be the biggest auction we've ever had at Phoenix Ball. At this point, we're expecting about 165, 170 silent auction items. And even for people that don't attend the ball, they have a chance to participate in that auction, because all of it's online. All of it will go live in about the next week to 10 days. So they can start looking at the items. Tasha gave me a report yesterday that adding up the value of all the silent auction items and the live auction items, the items are valued at about $100,000.
Wow.
And they've all been donated to that. So it's great for the scholarships that will be created for this. And in fact, this year we're creating 2 special scholarships in memory of 2 longtime participants at the ball, and that's Al Ashworth and Dallas Whitfield. For many years, they were our photographers at the ball. Right. They both unfortunately passed away way too early, way too young, and we're creating scholarships in their honor.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and that two guys, both of whom have been on the program here, Al a number of times, probably more than Dallas, but two people who meant a lot to our community, and I'm glad that they're being honored in this way.
We're so happy to honor them in this way and create something that will last in perpetuity for generations of students in the future. In fact, I had the pleasure yesterday of hosting 50 Lebanon Special School District children on campus, part of a field day trip they had. And I gave each of them a name tag saying, it didn't say their name, but it said future doctor or future engineer or future, planting that seed, which goes back to how many more students we want. Well, we want those 50 Lebanon Special School District kids coming to Cumberland in about 15 years.
That's a wonderful opportunity, though, for them and for Cumberland.
Oh, yes. And most of these were English language learners. So it would be first-generation college students in many ways, and just a great opportunity and a great way for Cumberland to help participate with the local schools.
Well, I think you excel at selling Cumberland.
Well, thank you. The other big event we've got coming up, and this is only 1 week after the Phoenix Ball, and by the time I'm on here next month, it will already occurred, so it's Symphony on the Lawn. This is the 30th or 31st time we've hosted that with the Nashville Symphony. That's Saturday, June the 10th. That'll be on the Memorial Lawn there on campus. It's free and open to the public, and we're starting just now to get the word out about that. Mm-hmm. There is one slight change. In the past, that always started at 7. They're going to knock it back to 7:30 as the start time that evening, because that allows the sun to go down and not be right in the eyes of the musicians playing. They get that technical in how they want to perform that. But
7:30.
It'll start 7th, June 10th. So that's, if Phoenix Ball is 24 days, then that would be 31 days from now. So please mark it on your calendar. It's just, that is truly one of my favorite events of the year.
And it is a free concert.
Free and open to the public. Bring kids, bring picnic baskets. We will have food trucks there. It's just a great night of music and getting ready to enjoy the arts.
It's just something about being out there under the trees and hearing the music, and as it gets night, it lasts until after 8 o'clock. Well, it'll be after 8:30 probably this year.
Yes, be after 8:30. But again, great event to bring the entire family, the kids. We invite many of the assisted living places, bring their residents out. So just a great event. In fact, I've got a meeting later today working out some more of those details.
All right, we'll keep that in mind. Now, one last thing. We've, of course, privileged to carry Cumberland University Phoenix baseball games here on this station, and they unfortunately lost to Freed Hardeman, wasn't it?
Yes.
Last game last week, and we're wondering, are they going to get an at-large bid? We don't know at this time.
We don't know, but we will find out tomorrow afternoon. We are very optimistic based on the season they've had, based on the records they've broken. When you've got the home run leader in the entire country in college baseball, it's hard not to think they're going to get an at-large bid, but we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, we'll certainly be pulling for them, and who knows what if they get invited, what the future, they could make it to the World Series, in the Iowa World Series. Be wonderful.
It would be wonderful. We'd love to have a fourth championship.
And there you go. Well, thanks so much for being with us this morning. And Joey Clark, appreciate your visit.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Keep up the good work. And Rusty, we'll see you in a month.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coleman.
That is part one of Coleman & Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford. Get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Picking up quite a bit now with that traffic volume leaving Rutherford County. That's what we're looking at live right now on 24 headed up through the Antioch area. Plenty of radar up and down 24 this morning in Rutherford County. Wilson County's had their share of some radar this morning as well. Hey, you don't want to miss Sips and Sharks at Ripley's Aquarium in the Smoky Mountains. It's coming up May 20th and 21st. More details, just Google Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Collier Engineering is a civil engineering design firm that can provide surveying for your home or property. A family-owned business in Nashville, Collier Engineering has multiple employees in Wilson County, including survey manager Dan Curry. He's a registered land surveyor and a certified floodplain surveyor. He would love the opportunity to assist with your surveying needs. Visit collierengineering.com. Call 931-510-2800. Mention this ad and get 10% off.
When you needed portable heating, cooling, generators and remediation equipment, contractor tools, or any other equipment or solution to help you get the job done, you trusted Absolute Rental and Supply. Now that same team brings you more equipment and more solutions as Herc Rentals. From construction and industrial to HVAC and homeowner, Herc Rentals has the gear and expertise to get jobs done efficiently, effectively, and safely. Visit us today at 1325 Main Street in Lebanon or online at hercrentals.com. That's HERCrentals.com.
In your mid-state weather forecast, a warm Wednesday. We're talking 87 degrees, moving down to the lower 60s overnight. The springtime storm pattern is in full effect. We're keeping a chance of pop-up thunderstorms in the forecast well through the weekend. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Will Dudley.
Coleman & Company, welcome to part two, and thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday morning. It's time for us to talk about Herc Rentals, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. Dave Hurst is the branch manager, and Dave is usually here to talk about Herc Rentals, but he is not, so we're gonna tell you a little bit about what all is happening. If he shows up, fine. He could be running late. He might have even forgot us this morning. Who knows? But Herc is spelled H-E-R-C, Herc Rentals, and again, located at 1325 West Main. They took over Absolute Rental and Supply about a year ago, but one thing that hasn't changed is the telephone number. It's been the same all these years, and that's 615-443-RENT. 443-RENT. Their website is hercrentals.com, and you'll find a wealth of information there on their website. You can actually do rentals there. But to go to the website, see all that is available, all the equipment and all the tools that they have to rent. They serve a lot of contractors in our area, but a lot of homeowners, a lot of do-it-yourself people depend on Herc as well. We've even talked recently about them having the garden tillers, and if you've got a late start this year, maybe your tiller broke and you put it off and you'd like to get a garden started, well, they have tillers that you can rent, and you can do that and get the job done. 615-443-RENT, again, is that phone number. And when you call and make a reservation, they're going to ask you a few questions. Make sure that you get the right tool for the job that you're wanting to do. If you're, whether you're digging, whether you're whatever you're doing, if you're needing to do something with up high, you need something to get you up in the air. They have a lot of equipment to do that, but they're going to ask you some questions to make sure that you get the right tool for the right job. So don't be surprised. They're not trying to know all your business. They just want to make sure you've got the right tool so you can do the job right, and also that you know how to use that tool so that you don't get hurt, so they don't have to replace it. It sort of goes like that. 615-443-RENT, again, is the number. The website, HercRentals.com. Equipment and tool rental. They're open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, Saturday, 7 to noon. And Dave Hurst, again, is the branch manager. Okay, with that, we are a little bit early, but it is my pleasure to have 3 members of the Doo-Wops with us this morning, and we're going to talk about a concert that's coming up at the Capitol Theater. I'm thinking this is the Sunday after Mother's Day. It's a week from Sunday, isn't it? Yes. Lynn Winfrey is with us. Lynn, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
We have Prissy Defendahl. Prissy, good morning. We have Michelle Robertson.
Robertson.
Good morning to you. Okay. Lynn, you and Prissy were original members of the Doo-Wops.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Michelle, you were not. You joined a little bit later.
Yes, I joined 2 years ago.
But you have done a few of these. I don't know how many. I know you've been at the fair many times over the years, but the Capitol concert has been something that has really been a great thing for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
You've about sold it out every time you've been there, I think.
We have sold it out and had turned people away, so you need to get your tickets early.
Yes.
All right. The one that's coming up, I've thought of this ever since you called me, Lynn, several months ago and told me you were going to do this. The way I've kept it in my mind, the Sunday after Mother's Day.
Oh, good.
This Sunday is Mother's Day. It's the following Sunday. Do you have any tickets left?
Yes, we have a few tickets left.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah. So you better get your tickets.
Well, there's something you have. Of course, it does go back in time. The music you do is back. A lot of this is from when you and I were much younger.
That's right. They're real familiar to us.
Well, and then of course you had a reorganization 2 or 3 years ago. Of course, Anita, Prissy, that was your sister, right?
Yes.
Everybody loved Anita in
They
high school.
did.
Anita was somebody, I don't know how to describe her. She was one of a kind.
She was.
She was our show, really. It was about her, not us.
Yeah. Yes.
And you miss somebody like that, no doubt.
You sure did.
And then you've had another one or two who decided they didn't. I don't know whether they were tired of singing or just wanted to do something else, but for whatever reason, there was a reorganization, 2 or 3 years ago? But this was after Anita's passing.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
We had 2 to leave, and we replaced.
Well, you've got, why don't you, Lynn, you got all the notebook there. Tell us who is a part of this. The 3 of you, Lynn Winfrey, Prissy Defendahl, Michelle Robertson. That's 3 of you. Who are the rest?
Well, Susie plays our keyboard. She's not with us today. She's had to work. So it's just us 3. We usually have 4 more to be with us. But, and then
Susie Stevens.
Yeah, Susie Stevens plays our keyboard. Then we have Martin Bell on guitar. And we have Sean Frick on bass. He's been with us. We went to his church to sing years ago. That's back when Nita was with us, and he was so good. He was playing for the church, and so we asked him. We just really stole him from the church, And
He still plays there.
He's got a friend that plays the drums there, Randy Aspen. He's with us, so we've got a good tight band.
Mm-hmm. Well, Michelle, you joined this group, and I'm sure they've taken you in, and you feel very much a part of all that's going on. This has been a good experience, hasn't it?
It has. It's a lot of fun, and I've
learned a lot, and they have been really sweet to just welcome me into the fold, and we just have a great time at rehearsals and on stage. We just enjoy each other and enjoy the music. And I was raised on this 50s and 60s. My dad didn't let me listen to anything but 50s and 60s and country and gospel. I wasn't allowed to listen to mainstream rock and roll in the 80s, and so I knew most of the songs that we're doing, and I just love it. And they've just made me feel right at home.
How do y'all, how do you decide, well, first of all, the song you're gonna do, and then how you're going to fit it in with your style, and who's gonna have what line and all of this? Prissy, they're pointing to you.
Well, they are, aren't they?
I didn't.
Well, we all love music, and so we bring to the table what we like, and then we see how it sounds, and if it works, we like it and sing it. We had a few categories this time. It's a little bit different this time. We're singing maybe some decades up, a few, and but that's for the coming ages, and but. It all sounds doo-woppy. By the time we get done with it, we've got that doo-wop sound. And how fun is that? There's nothing funner than doo-wop.
I don't think I have heard that expression before, doo-woppy.
There you go. Well, I can kill the English. Write it down and don't forget.
Yes. Been known as doo-woppers sometimes.
That's right. That's right. But it's a blessing.
Well, I won't, it's not necessarily a unique, I mean, it's not unique to you, but there's some uniqueness about the way you do it, I think. You agree with that?
I do agree. I think that our take on it, of course, being an all-female singing group changes it a little bit. A lot of the songs we do were originally recorded by males, but we girl it up a little bit and do it in our own style, and we just have a good time doing it. So it's fun.
Well, and sometimes one person is pretty much featured on a song. You have to work that out, and it's probably a lot takes place in your rehearsals and in your planning. And I mean, how many are you going to be doing on this Sunday we're talking about?
How many songs?
Yeah, you have any idea?
34.
30.
But who's counting, huh?
I counted. Because we're worried about our time. We want to keep it to 2 hours. Try to. We may go over 15 minutes, but we're going to try to keep it to close to that
But
time.
you've got at least 34 you're going to be doing.
But we don't do all of every song.
No, we
sometimes we just
What?
do a piece of a song.
Snippets of some of the
Oh.
songs, just part, maybe a verse and a chorus or something. So
Yeah.
we do some quads, which we run 3 or 4 songs together, and we try to keep it interesting for the people.
Well, in the beginning, I don't think there were any males involved at all. Anita played you did have one?
Yes, we did. Ed Lassiter. We can't forget the famous Ed Lassiter.
Yeah.
Well,
He wasn't there very long, but yes. Although we sang with him a
We sang
long
with
time.
him in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After high
And then I
school.
was
Well, I knew Ed in high school. He's a year behind me, I believe, and all of that.
He was good.
Football player, great athlete, and all this, and he sang too. But I did not know that he was with you.
just
Well,
a
we were-
year or two.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 of us
Okay.
together.
Well, we're really going back in time this morning, but that's what the doo-wops are all about.
We were called, what were we called?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know that we ever had a name, maybe, but anyway, and then
But anyway, Ed did sing in the beginning, but really for a good while, there were no male vocalist at all, just you. And then, as we said, you had to change up. You got some guys playing guitar, you mentioned, and so they have at least a minor role now, right?
Yeah, Martin sings with us. He sings a couple of songs.
All right. Well, Michelle, you were telling how did you actually get to be a part of this?
Well, I was singing, I was filling in on a local worship team where Susie Stevens plays the keys, and they were looking for an additional member, and Susie called me up and said, would you like to come and sit in on a rehearsal? And this is really fun, and I think you would enjoy it. And I was like, well, okay. Well, I didn't know that sitting in on that rehearsal was actually an audition.
Oh,
Because I jumped in and sang a few songs, and afterward, Lynn said, "Well, do you want to be a doo-wop?" And I said, "Well, sure." So here I am, and it's been 2 years, and it's just been great.
but all of you love to sing. Lynn, you have sung ever since I can remember, and I've known you since high school. And I mean, you sang with Fred Van Hook and with and you're original doo-wopper, and you're still going.
Well, when I was little, my mother sang in the choir at Shop Springs, our little church. And back then, they would let the kids sing in the choir with their moms. And so, really, I was in the choir before I was even born, because my mom sang in the choir. But it was just, I guess, instilled in me, music. And, just a gift from God is all I know. I'm not really that good, but
You love to sing.
I love to sing. Yes.
Well, Prissy, what about you? You love to sing, but how'd you get started?
I'm a Van Hook. Do I need to say anything else? Van Hooks sing everywhere at every occasion. And I grew up at the piano with Nita. I'm sorry to mention her name so much, but she raised me. My mama worked, and so had Nita there all the time, and she was always at the piano. And my sisters and I would just stand there and sing all the time. All the time we were singing. So that's my story.
All right. We've heard your three stories. Remind everybody, the doo-wop's going to be at the Capitol Theater. How do you get tickets? What's the best way to get tickets?
You can call the theater at 615-784-4041, or you can go online at capitoltheatertn.com.
Okay. Do you know how much are your tickets?
Adults are $22. Senior adults are 20, and ages 4 to 12 is 15. Ages 3 and under are free.
Okay. And you just there's so many seats available. When you're sold out, you're sold out.
Yes.
And that's happened every time I think you've been there.
Every time.
Just about. All right. Coming up a week from Sunday. What's that date?
May 21st at 2 o'clock.
May 21st. 2 o'clock.
And the doors open at 1.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a break right here. We'll talk more tomorrow on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a sales blitz that's going on now exclusively at Absolute Kubota. Come in and check out the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. 0% financing for 84 months on most models. Plus, add an attachment to your tractor and get an implement bonus buck up to $800 off, or take a cash discount of $2,400 on select models. This is for in-stock models only. The blitz will end at the end of the month. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Steady flow of traffic continues up through Williamson County on 65 northbound as you pass, let's say 840, all the way up through the Franklin area towards Brentwood. 24 a little bit crowded westbound there at Harding Place. Steady flow of traffic continues out of the Mount Juliet area. That's been in pretty good shape so far, coming in from Wilson County. Hey, it's time to call Crest Pest Control. These guys are awesome. They'll do you a good job. They do more than just pest control. Check out their website at crestpestcontrol.net. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedar Stone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, or renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedar Stone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. We're here with three of the doo-wops this morning. And if you joined us late, let me reintroduce my guests. We have Lynn Winfrey, we have Prissy Defendahl, we have Michelle Robertson. That's three of the doo-wops. Lynn, tell me one more time who are the others, because we just want to give them recognition too. They're part of all that's going to be at the Capitol Theater on a week from Sunday.
Our band is Susie Stevens, Martin Bell, Sean Frick, and Randy Aspen.
That's the doo-wops, and it's changed a little bit over the years, as we've talked about before. Now, you said you want to do a couple here this morning. This is going to be a cappella. We don't have any instruments here or anybody to play them or whatever. But why don't you just take off?
All right. Met him on a Monday and my heart stood still. Do run, 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 do run, run. Somebody told me that his name was Bill. Do run, 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 do run, run. Yes, my heart stood still. Yes, his name was Bill. And when he walked me home, do run, 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 do run, run. He picked me up at 7 and he looked so fine. Do run, 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 do run, run. Someday soon I'm gonna make him mine. Do run, 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 do run, run. Yeah, he looks so fine. Yes, I'll make him mine. And when he walked me home, do run, 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 do run, run. Do run, 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 do run, run. Do run, 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 do run, run.
Oh, that was great. I hope I had the volume okay here. And you sounded good. That's the doo-wops. Going to be at the Capitol Theater, and you want to say something, Lynn?
No, we have one more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If
We're
you
going to do
wanna
another
hear
one. Well, let you catch your breath here and kill a little time in between or whatever. But how long does it take you to put this together on one? Now that song, I remember that. I probably played that as a disc jockey years ago. But you have your own style. Who determines the arrangement? And do y'all just work on that together, or how do you do that? Chris?
Susie has a lot of influence there. She gets her key going. We practice probably for 2 months before we bring it to our male musicians. They've played that all their lives, so they can pick it up really quickly. But we try to get our parts. Susie has our key that we start in. So we practice, and then here come the musicians, the other musicians, and I'm telling you, it just knocks you out. Mm-hmm. It's just so fun to have them. They're great backup. They're just great.
Well, it seems so natural, so easy for you to do that. You sit here and sing and look at each other.
And we love each other. I think that shows. We just have so much fun. I do too. Yeah. I do too.
All right. One more time, you're going to be at the Capitol Theater. It is Sunday, the 21st of May, and tickets are still available. You get them online. You can call the Capitol Theater, but once they're sold out, the fire marshal only allows so many people in there.
And if we do have any left, they're available the day of the show.
Okay.
But that hasn't happened yet, that there are any left on the day of the show.
Yeah. Right. And we are going to give 2 gift certificates out
for tickets.
For ticket. Well, this is a gift card, and it's from Beaumont Med Spa. Rachel Deffendahl owns that, and we're excited. I think the people will enjoy getting a nice surprise. So 2 will be given out. And you're talking.
And then we have 4 free tickets to be given out by WANT FM 98.9.
She's hired. She's after your job, Coleman.
There you go.
Are y'all ready to do another one?
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, Prissy mentioned earlier we're gonna showcase a few songs that aren't as recognizably doo-woppy as others,
doo-woppy.
but yes,
doo-woppy.
Prissy's phrase. And this is one of them. We are excited to honor our Savior and part of our show.
We love gospel.
Walk together, children, and don't you get weary. Walk together, children, and don't you get weary. Walk together, children, and don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, and don't you get weary. Walk together, children, and don't you get weary. Walk together, children, and don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land.
All right, that's great. The doo-wops, three of them are with us this morning. Michelle Robertson, Prissy Deffendahl, Lynn Winfrey. Your harmony is really good. You practice that a lot.
We've been working really hard.
We practice 2 and 3 times a week, so it's a lot of practice.
Shout
going.
out to our spouses.
Yes.
I mean, they are fine people.
Thank you for
all
letting
of
us.
our spouses are so wonderful, and they are precious to us, and we appreciate that. Give me a word. And it's
They're
just
so supportive,
they
and
are.
encouraging, and
Yes.
not that they allow us to do this,
No.
but they give us grace for the time we spend,
Right.
which is really sweet.
Yes.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes left here this morning. You're only going to do 2.
Yes. We don't want to show everything. They've got to come to the concert.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, but there's 4 of you usually who are singing. Right?
No, there's 3 of us.
But you modified it to
Prissy.
to do 3 here, and it sounded great to me.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And and your harmony is really good. But again, that's something you work on all the time. How do you must do this? You must record and then listen back. No,
We don't.
No, we don't.
Maybe we should.
Yes.
As the junior member of the group, they are. I can sing harmony, but I do much better if they just say, "Sing this," and then I can follow their lead. And they've been together for so long that it's so natural for them to hear one another, and so they have just been so kind in bringing me along and finding me a part and making it even better than it would be, just by nature of who they are and the fact that they've been doing this together for so long. It's just innate.
Since
for them.
2009, our first gig was Nita's reunion, and we got together for that only. We did not plan on having a group, and we just kept getting people asking us to do their reunions and different things. So we just had to form a group.
which kind of leads me to what I was sitting here thinking of what else we're going to talk about about the future. I mean, you're fine right now. You do this. Are you going to be at the fair this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first Wednesday night of the fair on the large entertainment stage outside. You know, it's the covered entertainment stage, and it's across from Coxey's cabin. And I think we start at
7?
7 and sing 2 sets, one at 7 and one about 8:30.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll keep that in mind. Of course, you want to sell out this concert on Sunday the 21st, a week from Sunday, the Sunday after Mother's Day.
Yes.
Tickets online or call the Capitol Theater. And if there are any left on the day of the event, you can get them at the door. But
Yes.
it's not advisable because every time you've been at the Capitol, you have sold out.
Yes.
And you don't have standing room, I don't think.
I will say these tickets make great Mother's Day gifts. I have a friend from Atlanta whose parents live here, and she bought, I won't name their names because it's a surprise, but she bought tickets for her folks to come as a Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
So
But are you? I mean, as far as the future goes, you're planning to keep going, keep doing it. You'll be doing more concerts at the Capitol, perhaps.
Yes. This is our 4th concert at the Capitol.
I remember the first one. I didn't make it. I went. I did not. I had no idea you were going to be sold out. I go to the Helen and I go up there. We're gonna. Sorry, they're all gone. We're full. I got to go to the second one though, and then you did a Christmas concert.
Yes, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was so.
And now this is the 4th one at the Capitol. Well, Bob Black and Pam have done a great job, and everybody that's been there knows. And if you were here back like you and I, Lynn, when the Capitol Theater
Yeah.
showed movies.
Yes, I appreciate them so much for buying the Capitol and renovating it and having us. Matter of fact, we did their opening for the Capitol Theater back. I don't know when it
We were at
was.
the red carpet.
Yeah, we were at the red carpet. So
Okay, well, I appreciate three of you being here this morning, and I think you sounded great here.
Thank you.
And it's going to be even better when you have the whole group together with the guys playing a guitar, whatever. But Lynn Winfrey, Prissy Defendahl, Michelle Robertson with the doo-wops, and one more time to Capitol Theater on Sunday, May 21st. Tickets are $22. If you're a senior, they're $20. If they're $15. I forgot who that's.
ages 4 to 12.
4 to 12, 15, and then under 3 and under is free. Okay, and that's the way it is. Online or at the Capitol, or if you want a chance at the day off, not a good idea. You're going to be sold out.
And thank you for having us.
Well, I enjoyed it. And we've got some tickets we're going to be giving away between now and then as well here. So stay tuned to WANT FM 98.9 so that you might have a chance to win. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy.
Thank you.
That's it for a Wednesday. Join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.